We're also following breaking news out of Sacramento. Highway 50 is back open after a medical helicopter went down shortly after it took off from UC Davis Medical Center. 3 flight crew members are in critical condition.
Here's what we know so far. A Reach Air Medical Services helicopter crashed into the eastbound lanes of Highway 50 near Stockton Boulevard just after 7 last night. Although there was a lot of traffic at the time, luckily no one on the ground was hit. Sacramento City Fire tells us the 3 people on board were a pilot, a nurse, and a paramedic. All 3 are in critical condition at local hospitals. Luckily, no patients were on board that helicopter. And we have new video this morning showing the moments that helicopter went down. Take a look at what it sounded like.
Yeah, you see the helicopter gets closer and closer to the ground before it eventually crashes onto its side. Then it looks like the helicopter's fire suppression system goes off.
The crash shut down the highway for several hours, but things have since reopened now.
KCRA 3's Melanie Wingo joins us now live along Highway 50 with how crews cleared the scene. Good morning, Melanie.
Good morning, and for reference for our viewers, we're at the 48th Street overpass, and to the west of us would be Stockton Boulevard. This is the safest location we can get to show you in proximity how close we are to the crash. This is freeway traffic that is now up to speed, but not long ago, less than 12 hours ago, everything that would have been in this lane was not happening. It was all backed up behind that crash incident. So take a look at what we saw overnight. Into our newsroom, we have this video that our crew out here last night captured. It shows the moments that the helicopter was removed from Highway 50 in the eastbound direction just after Stockton Boulevard. Everything leading up to the crash scene was at a standstill as crews worked to hoist up that wreckage and place it on a flatbed and then remove it from the highway. A big job for sure, because crews not only had to remove that wreckage, but they had to then clear all of the debris from the crash from the highway. So it took crews a while to do that after their investigation, but they managed to get things cleared out. Now, we happen to have Captain Justin Sylvia with Sacramento Fire, who is just joining us now. In fact, he is just coming to the scene here. We reached out to him a short time ago. Thank you so much, Justin. I know you just got here. We've been talking with our viewers about the extraordinary response of your crews and then also people who were good Samaritans who rolled up to the scene. Talk about the moments leading up to the crash last night, how your crew responded, and then also how those folks jumped in.
So this came in as a vehicle accident with extrication, not knowing that right away it was a helicopter down in the middle of a freeway. With that, there were 3 victims that were on board of that aircraft. One was trapped under the aircraft when it finally came to its landing spot. Our engine captain recognized that the truck was going to be delayed through heavy traffic to get there for the extrication needs. So he sequestered a bunch of civilians that were around, and they were able, it was about 15 people, to lift that helicopter up just enough to get that victim out. At that point, she was loaded into an ambulance very quickly. All 3 victims were off of the scene within 20 minutes of this call. So really remarkable response by our agency.
And can you talk about just how rare it is for crews to enlist the help of people who had no hesitation and jumped in to do just what your fire personnel needed them to do in that moment?
It just shows a sense of community that everyone wants to lend a hand, everyone wants to help out when the time comes. And this is one of those times where we needed that help. That's what's going to save that patient or victim in this case, and that's what the community did.
And can you also talk about what your guys are experiencing today? This was a critical incident. We had, you know, the casualties on the roadway. And when we say casualties, we mean those very severe injuries. Can you talk about what your guys are feeling now after that traumatic response that they had to witness, deal with, and get people to safety as quickly as possible?
So the one thing that the Sacramento Fire Department has is the Behavioral Health Unit, led by a phenomenal captain captain who immediately responded to the hospital to do a debriefing of that with that crew, because this is something that we don't see every day. We see vehicle accidents every day, we see fires every day, but actually seeing a helicopter crash in the middle of a freeway, that's something that's going to leave a mark in your brain. So they're going to work through that. We have therapists that are at the ready, so we're very fortunate to have the behavioral health unit.
And then also, can you touch on real quickly, Highway 50 eastbound, going home away from Sacramento right after the heat of the day? I mean, are you as shocked as we are that nobody on the ground was hurt in all of this?
I honestly cannot believe that there were no vehicles involved. Just talking to some of the motorists that were in that front line, they said they could actually see the helicopter starting to come down rather quickly, and everyone started braking. So the fact that everyone was aware of that, it's remarkable that no one got injured.
And then lastly, what's next for you all today? I mean, I know that there's the NTSB investigation, the FAA investigation, but how do you as an agency, those initial responders, the first responders to the scene, how do you debrief and kind of go forward today, looking at your response last night? What will today look like for your team?
Today is going to be a lot of follow-up, making sure that those members of our agency are doing okay. If they need any additional help, that will be provided to them, but also just trying to get updates on all these victims. We have to reach out to the local hospitals and see what kind of condition they're in today.
All right, thank you so much, Captain Justin Silvio with Sacramento Fire Department. So that's a sense of what happened in the immediate moments and hours following the crash, and then also just an important take that we're getting from the first responders here as to how they responded to the incident and then also worked with the community to assist in those moments following the crash. Michael and Leticia, back to you.
Thank you so much, Melanie, for your live report. We appreciate the insight.
All right, take a look here at this video. One of the victims trapped underneath the helicopter after the crash. They were saved by a group of Good Samaritans who helped first responders lift that helicopter up off of them. We spoke with one of those people who jumped in. She described the crash and the moments immediately after.
It just plummeted out of the sky, and it hit hard, obviously, because it was falling. And then just instantaneous black smoke everywhere, just engulfed the whole thing. As soon as I saw that everybody was moving, trying to push the helicopter out to help the first responders get to the passenger, I just ran over and got in the line of people and was just help pushing it as much as I could. And then we held it for several minutes so the first responder could get the person out.